Good morning, everyone. Well, in this centenary year, it's fitting to spend a little time reflecting on the first 100 years of the WI. The world in which we live has, of course, changed, but many of the principles governing how we operate were set up in the first few years and have stood us in good stead ever since, including the financial framework. So, just as all honorary treasurers have done since the earliest AGMs, I'm here today to present the financial report for the NFWI. These days, the amounts are larger and the technology is smarter, but the key themes are probably the same. From the outset, there were standard rules for WIs which specified that all members paid the same subscription. In 1915, the membership subscription was 2 shillings. That's 10p in new money. And I was curious as to how that compared to the £36 we pay today. So I looked at the membership subscription as a proportion of average earnings in 1915 and today. And you might be surprised to learn that it is virtually unchanged. In 1915, 2 shillings was 0.2% of the average income at the time, and in 2015, it is just under 0.2%. So in making decisions on the membership subscription today, the NFWI trustees are guided by the same principles, every member paying the same, keeping it affordable and aiming to offer great value. In 1917, there were 137 WIs. The earliest county federations were being set up to enable the WIs to talk to each other, and the need for a national federation was recognised to look after the interests of the WI movement and ensure unity of purpose. In 1919, the affiliation fee to the NFWI was set at 3p per member. It is a bit more than that now, but bear in mind that for a number of years, the NFWI also received government grants to allow time for it to become self-supporting. Also, for a number of years, WIs and federations paid suggested donations in addition to the affiliation fees. So as reported in NFWI's 4th annual report, the WIs were, and to use a very familiar word today, inspired by a determination to make their national federation independent of all financial assistance outside the boundaries of its own movement. So today, with the income from member subscriptions and the other income we're able to raise, the NFWI is in a secure financial position, and the WI movement continues to derive strength and unity of purpose from the 3 parts of the organisation working together. So that brings us to the financial results for the last financial year, ending 30th of September 2014. I'm reporting on the consolidated accounts for the NFWI, including Denman, and the trading subsidiary WI Enterprises Limited. So how did we do? Well, the total income was just over £6.5 million, whilst the total expenditure was £6.8 million. We had an overall deficit of £300,000, but I would like to emphasise that this was planned. As you may know, the NFWI received significant tax refunds in previous years, and in those years, income was considerably higher than expenditure. We're spending these funds over a number of years to increase the level of services, hence the deficit this year. But the overall results were more than satisfactory. During the year, our investments also went up in value by £176,000. So the total funds shown in our balance sheet went down by 105,000 from 9.6 million to 9.5 million. So as you can see from this chart, over 90% of our total income came from three main areas: membership subscriptions, income earned by Denman, and the activities of our trading subsidiary, WI Enterprises Limited. Almost half our expenditure was on activities and services for members, including membership, education, training and public affairs, plus the provision of WI Life magazine and the Inspiring Women conferences held across England and Wales last year. As with income, the cost of running Denman and the costs of the trading activities make up the next largest areas, with governance comprising 6% of the total expenditure. To give you more idea of how each business area performed, not including investment gains, the NFWI had a deficit of 140,000. Denman ended the year breaking even, and WI Enterprises made a profit of 670,000. This was donated back to the charity and is included in the results for NFWI and Denman. So, returning to the consolidated results, the balance sheet showed total funds of 9.5 million at the 30th of September 2014. Included in this total was 1.3 million, being the balance from the VAT refunds that the NFWI board has designated for new initiatives and services, including additional activities in the Centenary year. And these funds were used to pay for the Inspiring Women conferences to which every WI president was invited. And with the federations, we're now planning to undertake further new local activities. And Janice will refer to this later today. Our free reserves were 3.9 million in September. These are funds that are readily available, not tied up in fixed assets or restricted funds. And they provide us with the necessary working capital, as the NFWI does not receive any further subscription income for at least 6 months, and also provide contingency to manage risks. Time does not allow me to take any questions today, but any questions received will be answered individually. There is, as Janice has said, much more detail in the NFWI's full annual report and accounts, which is available from your federation or the NFWI, as well as online. And there is also a summary in the annual review. So, my closing message is that the NFWI is embarking on the WI's next 100 years from a secure financial position. We have funds available to deliver inspiring new activities for members. And whilst the subscription will inevitably go up over time, depending on the financial needs of all parts of the WI, the NFWI trustees are also aiming to continue to increase the WI and Federation shares of the subscription and reduce the NFWI share. At the same time, we remain committed to making sure membership of the WI is affordable and good value for money. Thank you.